Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Warren,
This is Jay.
and we the Eagles Collective. It's gonna be episode 2 of the new season. Just talking about all news information that we got so far. Stay tuned. So yeah, guys. So the biggest news that we got right now is Jason Kelce is officially retired. He retired on Monday. Um, Press conference speech, very emotional speech, about 40 minutes. Just talked about his life in Philly, how he met his wife, just how he grew to become one with the fans, understanding the crowd, understanding the city as a whole. Great speech. I appreciate it. It was definitely what we needed. I know we all got information the day after the game against the loss against the Bucks. Adam Schefter came out and said that he was retiring, and Jason Kelce kind of rebutted with that and said that wasn't what he wanted, and he didn't want to do it that way. So I'm glad he got the press conference that he wanted and needed. Uh, Jay, give me a little bit of insight on what you thought about that press conference.
Yeah, even before the press conference, I'll go back to even how the season ended when he was crying on the sideline and he hugged Jeff Stoutland. Like that was it for me, because if you follow the Eagles closely, the last 5 years he's been flirting with retirement. So for the fact that he hugged Stoutland like that, he was bawling on the sideline, that to me just showed that he was done. That was his final snap.
Yeah, most definitely, and he didn't just see this as a game; he saw it as his way of life. So everything that came to him in life, it started off in Philadelphia, and that's why he appreciates Philly a lot more than honestly maybe a lot of players on the team right now. But he also gave some insight to how Philly fans are and what to expect, and just we have high expectations for the team that we have. That it was good getting that from him. He got it all out. We definitely appreciate everything that he's done.
It was
Kelce,
never, as
Lee,
always.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Kelce is leaving the Eagles with 13 seasons as an Eagles Super Bowl champion, first time All Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler. Like these are all so many crazy accolades, and
Look at
we're
that. It's just and look at how he started. He started off as a 6th round pick, and he just
yeah,
worked his.
yeah, and it's literally a new era. It's just it was the end of an era with Kelce, and I'm just very excited to see who's going to be stepping up and taking in on his shoes. But yeah, it sucks that we losing him, but it was definitely needed. Uh, Per our last conversation that we had about this coming up, our questions was who was going to take over, and it was going to be Cam Jurgens. Just so everybody know, Cam Jurgens has been playing, and since he's played, he's had 689 snaps played, 0 sacks allowed, and 0 penalties allowed. So I know that Cam Jurgens was handpicked by Kelce himself in the draft. They wanted Kelce to pick his replacement. So I think that's awesome, and that shows how the team has a very strong respect for Kelce. How do you feel about that, Jay?
Yeah, and then alluding back to before, I just want to go back a little because you asked me about his speech. His speech was extremely powerful. Like and it just goes to show you. And one thing I want to say about, I just hope his energy radiates throughout the building. He says he's gonna be in the building. He's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. So to me, like we need Kelce somewhere. We need that energy still in the building because as an Eagles fan, I've always been worried about the day he retires. How will the team move forward? How are they gonna respond to how are they gonna respond to having such a leader gone? How are they gonna take it?
Yeah, most definitely. And we'll take a look at the comments right now. Um, Gio said Kelce the legend. Yeah, definitely
Facts.
is. Also from Gio, he will be missed. Kelce is on the Mount Rushmore. He really is. Real quick, just curious. Y'all in the comments definitely give me y'all's Mount Rushmore. But Jay, what's yours for the Eagles?
For the Eagles, I put Brian Dawkins. I'll give you
Okay.
my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
I'll give
yeah,
you
yeah.
my
We want your Mount Rushmore right now.
um I'll give you him. I'll give you it's a little tough because I don't want to give players that I never watched and you know, just off of their
Face
history based
value.
with the team.
Yeah.
But I'll
Yeah.
give you Kelce number one,
Okay.
Dawkins two. This is
Okay.
mine. I don't want to put a player, oh man. I don't want to put a yeah, Kelsey's on Mount Rushmore 100%.
Yeah. Kelsey's up there. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll give you mine. It would have to be Kelce, Dawkins, Reggie White.
Mhm.
Um, and the last one is actually a pretty tough one. I might have some people that disagree with me, but I would put Donovan McNabb up there. I would put McNabb up there just because the simple fact he did take it to some NFC Championship games. He did take it to the Super Bowl, and when he was focused, he took us very far. So that would be my Mount Rushmore with that. Um,
Yeah.
and it
It's
looks
it's
like
hard. It's hard.
it
I would put
is.
Reggie White up there. I never watched Reggie White play, but I would put Reggie White up there.
Yeah, most definitely. He said Cam Jurgens will be Landon Dickerson's backup just in case. Yeah, so from what I was told and what they said it's looking like is Landon Dickerson will be taking over for Cam, and Cam will move over to the center position. So that's it's kind of like a plug and play. And Kelsey's been flirting with retirement for a while, so he's definitely given the ownership time to kind of make those changes when needed. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Cam was the
saying.
center. Cam could do it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Landon Dickerson was originally going to take his place as the center, but Landon Dickerson was better he was better as a guard. So they moved him over to guard, and then they got Cam. So Kelsey actually pick up. He actually was the one that chose Dickerson and Cam Jurgens. So like
Absolutely.
that's pretty crazy. But yeah, with that report coming out, we also got information. It hasn't been fully established yet, but Fletcher Cox is planning to retire as well. Um, it puts another hole in the defensive line. It will suck to lose him, but we understand that
See, he would be on my Mount Rushmore 100% if he
yeah,
retires. Like
definitely a
personal, like
legend.
from my Eagles fan experience for the last 20 years.
Yeah, most definitely. He always came in clutch at those moments. Uh, he stepped up when needed. He's always whenever his name was called, he came out and he played. Now one player that is going to be staying with us, which I think is good, is Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham says he wants his tour, his end of the year tour, one last dance. Like I appreciate it. I like that. He said all they're doing is working out a deal with him right now, so that'll be good to get Brandon Graham back as veteran leadership. And he said he's even willing to step back and take that mentor role for the rookies and for the young defensive linemen. So that'll be good. How do you feel about Brandon Graham coming back?
I feel like it's good if he comes back at a number reasonable for the team. Not at a high salary. We can't pay him basically what he's been paid. So if he comes back on a team friendly deal, I think his energy is needed in the building. I think his expertise at the position is going to help the younger players. So I think him coming back is a 100% plus.
Yeah, and let's see, we got a Mount Rushmore. So
Here we go.
we got Nick Foles, Reggie White, Kelsey, Dawkins,
I
Randall, and
like that. I
Shady
like
or
that. I
Shady.
like that one. You see,
Yeah,
that was we see all those players
yeah,
basically I watched play. So when you sit down and think about it, that's a solid one, especially the first. If you switch Shady for Randall, for sure that would
hmm
be all player I watched basically. And besides Reggie, I watched all of them.
and just in case, you got Deshaun Jackson in
And
there
Deshaun
too.
Djax is a goat,
You can't
deep
sleep
threat,
on Deshaun Jackson.
deep
Yeah.
threat.
Yeah. So with that news, like I said, I hate to hear it. Everybody hates to hear it, but it kind of needs to get done. Now, some news that we've all kind of been anticipating and waiting for. The first one I'm very big on. I know Jay, like over the season, we talked about this a lot, but Maddox is finally released from the team.
Yeah,
Um, we were talking about it might be a salary cap issue, why they might keep him, but Maddox has been injured the last 2 seasons. Like he hasn't played a full season, and I want to say about 3, 4 years. So having him on the roster and your best ability is your availability. So we've gone far without him. So I think they made that conscious decision to do that. And even Bayard is also getting released from the
Yeah,
team. So I think this is another move that needed to happen. We brought him in anticipating that he can make a difference in the secondary. He, between me and you, he kind of just stayed stagnant. Didn't really do much. Um, the biggest play or the biggest impact that I would say he made was that interception at the Chiefs game.
yeah,
Um,
in the
that
end
was kind
zone.
of it. Yeah, that was kind of it after that.
Yeah.
But with these releases, what are your thoughts on these?
Well, to be honest with you, it had to happen. From a financial standpoint, even if they were playing even a little bit better than they were playing from a financial standpoint, a reconstruction or a cut was coming. Because cutting Maddox saved 9.6 million, and cutting Reddick saves 13 million. So together, that's 23 million they saved between those two players. So it had to happen. It had to happen financially from a future standpoint. It didn't make sense to pay either one moving forward, especially with the cap hit.
Yeah, and who and how he draft. We're gonna get a little bit into
Yeah,
that. So yeah, so
definitely.
stay tuned. We're definitely gonna tap into that a little bit. So we
Like his
definitely want to
profile
see.
picture.
Yeah,
Dope
yeah.
profile
Let me
picture.
know. Yeah, definitely let me know who y'all think we should draft too in the comments. Let us know because
Yeah.
open up our eyes to somebody we might be missing. But as we move forward though, so we got a few things that's going on, a few rumors, a few talks right now in the NFL of what could potentially happen with the Eagles. Me and Jay kind of had the conversation on both ends of like who was some talks that you would like to see join the Eagles. We both gave out our opinions on who we would like. Um, Jay, I'm gonna start off with you first, and we're gonna talk about Huff for a little bit. I know you said he's somebody that the Eagles have really been considering bringing onto the team. What are your thoughts on bringing him in?
Well, quite frankly, basically, if nobody for the people that don't know, I live in New York. I'm from New York. I live in New Jersey. My son is a Jets fan, so I follow the Jets quite frankly pretty close. So this is one of their secret weapons. He's been underrated for quite a few years now. He just makes plays when they're needed. Oh, we spoke about it earlier off camera. He reminds us of Brandon Graham. He's like a younger, like Brandon Graham. And ironically, my son is a collector like me, as you can see, and we met Bryce Huff recently at an autograph signing about a month and a half ago in Brooklyn, New York. And he was a cool dude. It was cool to meet him, but it would just be ironic if he joined the Eagles after I just met him. And I had a Jets jersey signed for my son by him. So I think he's a good player. I think he would be coming at a good price. He's not a big profile name, but I think he's the type of player that could definitely make noise in Philadelphia, especially the way they rotate defensive linemen.
And actually, we just got news. I don't know if y'all heard the ESPN sound in the background, but Brandon Graham actually just got signed to a 1 year deal with the
There we
Eagles.
go. Let's
Yeah,
go,
1 year
Brandon.
deal.
BG back.
Uh, yeah, reported by Adam Scheffler. We'll post that up in a few minutes. But yeah,
Let's go.
Brandon Graham will be an Eagle, 35 years old. He will be completing his 15th season. So hey, let's do it.
Let's go.
I'm
Let's do it,
excited
man.
for
I'm
this.
down. I'm down. I'm down to have him back in the building. Like I said, at a good rate. They should be able to get the younger players involved, and especially if they draft a young guy, first round or edge rusher
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. I personally think he'll be good for Nolan Smith. I think he'll be a good mentor for Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is doing very well. I just think that he just needs a little bit more development. That's all it really is, just a little bit more development, getting the feel for the NFL. And a lot of these rookies coming in, they just need to slow the game down, honestly. The game moves so fast and they just need to find somebody to help treat them on how to slow the game down. And I think Brandon Graham is perfect for that. Um,
Facts.
but yeah, getting Huff would definitely be a huge piece to what we need right now.
Yeah, he's an
Um,
underrated player in the league, man. Trust me. He would be he would thrive in Philly. I could see him thriving in Philly.
yeah, most definitely. My pick was going to be Saquon. Of course, Saquon has been with the Giants since he was drafted. Uh, I feel like Saquon has not been able to perform at his best ability just because the O line on the Giants is not the best. The O line on the Giants is not the best. Saquon Barkley also was ranked the 30th in blocking. So we actually have a running back that can block too. So that'll be beneficial. Um, he's a passing running back. There's so many. Even though he is a little bit more seasoned than Swift would be, I think if we were to lose Swift, bring in Saquon, and then maybe pick up a, a running back out of the draft, man, I think that would be the right route to go. But we need to use Saquon and see how far he can go. He's also interested in joining the Eagles as well.
Mhm.
It's literally right down the street. So I know a lot of Giants fans wouldn't be happy about that, but
Absolutely.
hey, you didn't utilize him the right way. We will. So that's the way I look at that.
I feel like
But
the Eagles have to sign one of these running backs. I feel like they like there's two. This is a year that there's a lot of good free agent running backs, and you got to put the. But you know what I gotta say? I was watching Super Bowl highlights the other day and the 2017 highlights, and like Garrett Blunt made a difference on that team. He was able to bruise and pound running, running
Bruiser
the
back.
ball. Like he was, and the Eagles haven't had a big back like that since that time. So they need a big bruising back. That's what we thought Penny would be, and it didn't even come close. Penny didn't even see the field really. So
And
we
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 had Jay
need a
Ajayi too. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But we had the off pace. We had we had like a swift, shifty guy, and then we had like a Derrick Henry type of Saquon guy in the Garrett Blunt, like that could run people over. So I think the Eagles definitely need to go with the two back set again, a pass catching back and a stronger back. Because Swift and Gainwell were kind of the same type of player in a sense. They just had different blocking abilities. But they definitely need a bruising back, and then they also need like a Swifty third down type of guy or an Eckler type of guy who could catch the ball out of the backfield. Check down guy.
Yeah. No, I like that, and I'm gonna add to that a little bit. We will be getting Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
and we all know that Kellen Moore was operating the Cowboys with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, and they saw some success with that. So I can see them implementing that into the Eagles' offense as well, bringing
Yeah.
in a bruiser
Right.
back and also bringing in just a just a north south running back. Just runs north south, speed. Like it would be nice to get Saquon and Swift, honestly, or if they could work out a deal to get Saquon and Derrick Henry. But I think the best move would be to get Saquon and pick up a running back out of the draft. But with all this news, we're gonna go into the comments a little bit. Um, let's see. So yeah, good news about Maddox resigned for cheap because Bradbury will be released in June. Roger Slayer and I hope the Eagles Justin Simmons, Xavier King. Yeah, yeah, these are and this is the thing though. Until March 13th, none of this stuff will really be official yet. It's kind of all talks right now. And we got to be honest with ourselves too. Ownership is only going to give information that they want people to know about. So you might be right about this. I kind of like this though. Um,
Yeah.
he says Saquon or Swift. Swift is cheaper. Swift will be cheaper, but I think Swift had 1,000 yard season, so I know Swift is looking for a big contract.
Yeah. I could
Um,
see Swift definitely being definitely demanding a bigger deal. His track record. I mean, he has injuries, but prior to Philly, his injury history with Detroit was pretty extensive. That's why Detroit let him go. He was never
yeah,
available for them.
yeah. Did you hear that Howie might ship AJ to the Bears? I didn't hear about that. And in all honesty, if Howie was to ship AJ to the Bears, we would actually lose money. We will lose money with that, and we'll have dead cap on that. So I'm glad that you did bring that up on cap because here's some information that I got. So the Eagles have the potential to possibly have a $60 million cap before free agency. Release by I would say already did. Extend Hassan Reddick, uh, extend Devontae Smith, and extend Landon Dickerson, that'll put us at 60 million. And this is a report by Anthony DeBono, which I think this kind of just shows us that we can make moves if we really need to and if we really want to. Um, Based off those comments that you just saw, what do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I think that's why I said even okay. Going back to even the comment the other guy said, the other viewer got said. Maddox could come back on a cheap deal. I could see that happening in a team friendly deal, like I said, because his injury history also warrants his release. So I could see him coming back on a cheaper deal and then them trying to figure it out. But depending on where they're trying to go in the first round, I mean, they're almost 100% going to defense. There's no way they're gonna draft an offensive player. I don't think unless it's a can't miss guy at 20 22. It's just I don't see it happening. I see them going defense, secondary, or edge rusher, or even maybe even a linebacker if they finally decide to prioritize the position.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That's a good point. And hey, if AJ Brown going to the Bears is wild, I
Yeah, I
really
haven't
hope
heard that
not.
too, but I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't think AJ's going anywhere. AJ
Yeah,
made the Eagles' offense completely different since the moment he stepped on the in the field. The moment he donned in midnight green, he's made absolute. He's put the Eagles' offense over the top. You understand?
yeah,
And I realized that fairly quickly in his first season with the Eagles.
yeah. He also mentioned even Chase Young. Chase Young would be good. He would be a good pick.
He just has a
Beach.
history of being lazy on plays. He's on film, not giving it his all. So Chase Young is a weird player, as far as what do you get from him? And then you get a play where he's in the backfield in 2.5 seconds and he's knocking the quarterback out.
Now he did have a standout game against the Chiefs, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Um, Also, will Vic run a 3-4 or a 4-3? I can definitely see him running a 4-3. That's just
Mhm.
me
I hope he runs a
personally,
4-3.
because the Eagles' strength right now is our D line. So if we can strategically bring in a good group of guys on the D line, because we still got Milton Williams, um, we still got Jordan Davis, still got Jalen Carter, you still got Brandon Graham. We don't know where Reddick or Sweat is really going. It's said that they're up for trade talks, but we're not too sure on that.
Yeah.
But at
That
the end of the
rumor came
day,
out today about
yeah,
Sweat with the track. Came out earlier when we were on the phone. That
yeah,
caught me out of surprise too.
yeah. So you never really know. Kellen might want to bring in Noah Brown at third wide receiver. And I like where you're going with that. I like where you're going, because this is something I'm going to add to what you're mentioning right here. Chase Young for cheap, yeah. Milton is
Yep.
good. I heard Cox might walk. Cox is actually walking. It said that he is planning on retiring with Kelce. So that's
I
just
just
it's
feel
just
like
planning to
I feel
happen.
like they're doing it like this because Kelce had to have his moment, and you didn't want it to both collide. But I could see Fletcher walking away after this season. I think they want
Yeah,
to walk away, not having fell off too much from Fletcher's play hasn't been as high as Jason's play. Like Jason looked like he's leaving the NFL as the top center. He's not even showing any signs of being washed up or anything.
yeah. And then like they said right here, Sweat is he's on the call. People are calling him about trading for Sweat. Like this is good news. Um I personally think that the Eagles don't like trading their own, um unless they're not doing well. But I think I would hate to lose Sweat, but if we get Huff in replacement of that, I wouldn't mind that. So
Yeah,
it's all about what you really want your team to be and what identity you want from your team. But moving forward with that, this isn't going to be a very long video, just a short video. We want to reach out to you guys and make you guys available to reach back out to us. But on top of that, we want to talk about the rookies coming in. So me and Jay talked a little bit about the draft and who we saw and who was kind of stepping up. Jay had a few people in mind. I had a few. Um, and I think what we'll do is we're just going to go in order. We're not going to go back and forth, but just who we think can be huge pieces and can start immediately for the Eagles. So I'll start off with Chop Robinson. So
definitely.
Chop Robinson ran a 4.4 at the combine. Uh, he's said to also be somewhat of a Myles Garrett type player on edge rush. Um, this is what we need. If we were to lose Reddick or Sweat, this is who the Eagles are thinking about. So if the Eagles are in the trade block for Sweat and for Reddick, that's because they see this person as the next leader or the next person to take place. Now, having him and Nolan Smith on the edge, and then having Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, that could be a monster team. But it's all about what we're going to do and what we're willing to give up for them. I know this is somebody that you were talking about, Jay, Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, yeah, I like Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on Kool-Aid and why you think he would be beneficial.
Yeah, I think he was a 3-year starter. He was a 3-year starter at Alabama. One of their best players. I just think that his ball skills, his physical size, I think he would fit and be able to plug in right away with the Eagles defense. I think they need a good young corner that they could develop and at least have somebody they can build on instead of just trying to rely on free agency and bring in a guy who you're not too sure of. I just think that first round has to be edge rusher or corner.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. So that was we got a cornerback picked up. One that I like personally, they ran a 4.2 in the combine, but Xavier Worthy.
Of course.
The reason why I mentioned Xavier Worthy, they asked him who is a wide receiver that you like to emulate while you're playing and emulates your style and how you became the player that you are. He said Deshaun Jackson.
That's a
And
great answer.
let's all be quite honest here. Quez Watkins was supposed to be our speed deep threat guy. That's what Quez is supposed to be. Quez hasn't been doing that the last 3 seasons. He hasn't. So I think it's time to move forward with him. I think getting Xavier Worthy would definitely be a threat. Just thinking about AJ Brown, Devontae, Dallas Goddard, and now you got Xavier Worthy as your wide receiver 3. That's a threat. And a lot of people say usually those players that come out of the combine with the fastest 40 usually don't make it that far. Yeah, but Xavier Worthy is a little different. Uh, he's a Longhorn. Like their standard is a little bit higher. I'm sorry, I just got to say that their standard is a little bit higher when it comes to receivers. I can see him being elite, and if we were to trade like an AJ Brown to the Bears, we would be looking at a receiver like him to kind of fill in like a plug and play deal. So Xavier Worthy would definitely be that next piece. Um, any thoughts on Xavier Worthy, Jay?
Yeah, I think his draft stock obviously rose with the 40 time and he did it. He broke the record. He did it on his second attempt. I think that the Eagles could use a player like him and also they're not also in need because Smitty's a kind of a body frame like him, not as fast, but Smitty has breakaway speed and it can make contested catches. That's my only worry with Worthy. Can he do that in the NFL? And that was our worry with Devontae, and Devontae proved everybody wrong. He's not too small to be on the field. So if Xavier Worthy, I think, could work on that as he gets in the league, because the spaces and the gaps is not the same in college. Once you get to the NFL, it's a much tougher game. That
Yeah.
the breakaway speed is much different in college than on the NFL. So there's gonna be guys who are gonna be able to run with him, keep up right behind, be a step or two behind him. So I think that he's a player that team. I don't think he's going to go too high because if you remember, John Ross went super high and he ended up not being exactly what everybody
Mm-hmm.
wanted. So the fast guys, they don't always pan out to be such great football players. Just because you're fast doesn't mean you're great. But Xavier Worthy can catch the ball, he can track the ball. He has breakaway speed. He can stop and start. So I think it'll be a little bit different for him in the league.
No. I agree with you, and I will say this too. Um, Tyreek Hill ran a 4.2940, and Tyreek started off as a kick returner, punt returner,
Mhm.
and look at where he's at now. It may be one of those situations where he kind of
Yeah,
just starts off
yeah.
in that position and kind of
Speed
has to,
kills.
yeah, he has to work his way up.
Yeah,
Um,
speed kills. If you're fast, man, if you're fast, then you just need to learn how to track them. See, that's what Deshaun Jackson is. Deshaun Jackson, till this day, I still haven't seen a player who could stop and go like him. Like he's running fast with a guy defender, and then he pulls away from him. He's literally like a car. Like he has that
Hmm.
extra gear in him that he kicks in and then he just runs away from the defender. It's just
Yeah,
always is on film.
yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. Uh, I know one of the next player is can kind of as soon as if he was to get picked up, he will play immediately. I think this is one of our weaknesses that gets overlooked, but the linebacker position with Edrin Cooper. I
Yeah.
think he's the linebacker that we need. Um, he can definitely be an impact on the field. So with these trades can come these type of players. Now, I have a question for you, Jay.
Mhm.
So right now we have 8 picks. Do you see we have 8 picks with what is it, 42 salary cap? Our cap is 42, I believe. Right
Mhm.
now it's in the 40s. Can you see the Eagles potentially trading, maybe trading Sweat, keeping Hassan Reddick, uh working out some type of deal to where we can also maybe use Hassan Reddick in the draft, get Chop Robinson, get the linebacker we just spoke about, and maybe get an Xavier Worthy. What do you feel like Howie's plan is this offseason? I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I think that Cooper might fall to the second round. If he falls to the second round, the Eagles are going to try to snag him. And I think that's very, very likely that the Eagles, they haven't prioritized the linebacker position, but it was evident last year that you need a good linebacker. Like the Eagles need a linebacker. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Whether you sign
Yeah,
Patrick Queen or you go and draft Cooper, you got to figure it out because that's the quarterback on defense, and you want a competent person there. Just not a practice squad guy that you elevate and just plug him in. That's not going to work.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Um, this it would be a good move. I just who knows what they have planned. It's good that we have the cap space that we have right now, and we also have the picks that we have as well. So we definitely have leverage on our end. We'll go ahead and look at a little bit at the comments right now. Sweat is Barnett 2.0. Not yeah,
You know,
yeah, no.
I want to kind of agree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because Sweat disappears, bro. Like Sweat is in a game. He gets pressure. That's not gonna. He gets pressures a lot of, but the pressures don't equal sacks most of the time with him. And if the Eagles moved on from Josh Sweat, I would be okay with it because his production is it matches. It's not terrible. His production is not horrible, but I just feel like he disappears in games. He goes missing. You don't hear much from him, and that's what Barnett was going on with Barnett. Sometimes it's just not working anymore.
Yeah. Let's see. Darius Robinson, Nate Williams, Mitchell. Okay.
The Corn Hardy
Okay.
beast. I gotta check who's the Corn Hardy. I don't know about Legend either.
Yeah, these are good picks. Luke
Luke
McCaffrey is
McCaffrey's
actually
the
gonna
brother. I know the
yeah.
brother. Yeah.
He's actually gonna be a beast. But my question is, does Luke really is how would Luke feel about coming to Philly, knowing how his brother feels about the 49, how his brother feels about Philly? Um, I just think it would be good. It would be awesome. I would like it, but that's one thing that I think about. Um,
Whole clear tight
yeah,
end, Colorado State.
yeah. Spencer Rattler, yeah,
Rattler, Rattler. His draft stock and his college career has gone all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. He's a Mahomes type of player in a sense. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but he runs wild a little bit. He's a little off script guy, and Jalen's kind of already the gambler we already have there. So
yeah. Nobody's a bigger gambler than what's his name, Josh Allen. So
Josh Allen, yeah,
yeah.
he lives in Vegas. He's gambling on the field.
And let's see, Cooper.
Cooper, yeah, Cooper's amazing.
Yo, these are all good picks. I like them. I really do. I like
I'm
these.
actually gonna go back in the comments later, and I'm gonna look up some of these people.
Yeah, definitely. So
It's hard to focus in on so much players and resources, and the Eagles never, they're only gonna draft 6 or 7 of these people. So it's like, you know that they're not gonna get everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So right now is Saturday. The free agency will soon start March 13th. I think that falls on a Wednesday. So we only a few days away to see what type of moves how he's willing to make. I'm excited for it, Jay. I know you're excited for it, but
Yep.
we wanted to hop on here and just let you guys know, just kind of give our feedback, give out our news and information that we got. We appreciate everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe from us. Also, if you're ever interested in joining the show, definitely feel free to reach out. We'll bring you on, get your thoughts. We the Eagles Collective for a reason. Jay, give me a little insight before we hop off.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody. Appreciate the comments. I'm gonna go back and check out the comments to see some of those names in the drafts. For the next episode, we'll tone in a little bit more on who we think the Eagles are gonna draft. Thanks a lot.
Oh,
Thanks a lot,
we
Paletero. I
appreciate
see
you.
you, Paletero.
All right. And we're the Eagles Collective. Well, I'll let y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
Out.